Hello, wonderful people of the internet. Welcome back to another episode of Simuleos. Today's going to be an absolutely wonderful day. I'm like, 25% sure, and that's relatively high for me. Hey, Gibbous, how are you? And anyone who might be lurking in chat, hey, thanks for being here. Right, so there's a lot of stuff we have to get done today, like a lot of visualizations we need to do, all this kind of stuff. And we'll see where we go. There's one thing I want to talk about before getting any further, and that is actually Gitbook. So as many of you guys know, we in the algorithm archive use Gitbook to render the algorithm archive. That's what we do. Now, a long time ago, before using the current scheme that we have, where, let me just go to github.com. Before using the current scheme that we have, where essentially all of the algorithm archive is held using algorithm archive specific versions of Gitbook and all this kind of stuff. Scheduled reminders are here. Okay. I don't really know what that is. But anyway, so instead of using the GitHub directories for Gitbook and all that kind of stuff here, and using algorithm archive specific Gitbook versions, we did spend a significant amount of time working on the algorithm archive from the legacy Gitbook website. So it was like legacy.gitbook, one second, .io or something like this. I don't know if it even exists anymore. No, it does exist. But here's the thing. The legacy Gitbook. Okay. Where do we start? So first of all, it was just gitbook.io. So the algorithm archive was under algorithmarchive.gitbook.io, which, I thought was fine. There wasn't really a big problem with that. However, after maybe a year or so of using this software, maybe not even a year, maybe a few months, Gitbook, what we had been using as algorithmarchive.gitbook.io, changed to legacy.gitbook.io/algorithmarchive. So the URL changed, and they didn't give us any notice of this change, right? Which is totally fine. I guess it's within their right, but you would think that they would at least let us know, that they were going to be changing their system, and they didn't. So we ran into this situation where we had to literally just guess at what they were doing, and because of that, we ended up just taking all of their old stuff on GitHub and forking it under the algorithm archivist just in case that stuff went down. There was a lot of stuff that we had to do to make sure that the algorithm archive could run on Gitbook still, because that's kind of the base that we built on. But even so, we are really trying to change from the algorithm archive being supported on Gitbook to maybe Python or some other backend. We're not really sure where we're going to go here. The point is, just today I got an email from a few other repositories that I have on Gitbook, and they basically told me that legacy.gitbook.io is now going to be closed. And I'm like, well, okay, that's fine. I didn't really use it anymore. But here's the reason I'm kind of miffed about it. If you look up Gitbook, right? It used to be this free and open source thing, where you create your documentation on GitHub, and then after creating your documentation on GitHub, it's then hosted on Gitbook, right? Really what they're good for isn't necessarily, or in my opinion, what they're good for isn't necessarily, the hosting of your documentation on Gitbook. It's more the ability to take your documentation and easily turn it into a markdown file that can then be presented, that has everything you want, math jacks, citations, all this kind of stuff, but now, it's gotten all corporate, and I'm not a big fan of that. And no, look, I'm not going to sit here and pretend that, look, open source software is very difficult to grow. It's very difficult to work with. It's very difficult to use. And in particular, if you're developing open source software, it's incredibly hard to make a living off of open source software. I totally and completely 100% agree and understand with that sentiment. On the other hand, the way in which they did this, where they just kind of kicked everyone else off of legacy.gitbook.io, they kicked everyone onto legacy.gitbook.io, really kind of rubbed me the wrong way. And I'm not happy using this software anymore, essentially. So I just wanted to talk about that a bit. I do want to turn this into a video that's put on my main channel. I'm just not really sure how I'm going to do that exactly. I just want to talk about why we're using Gitbook and all this kind of stuff, and where we'll go with it in the future. I just kind of wanted to talk about it because it is something that's been on my mind recently. Of course, another thing on everyone's mind is the coronavirus stuff. I'll just bring it up really quick. I think if I just go to bookmarks and here, um, right, so we should see, here's just the map that I typically use just to show it. I know it's not the best map, but I just wanted to point out that we are, we only became #1 in the world 3 days ago in the US, and we're already at almost twice that of our closest competitor, being Italy. And right, these numbers might not be totally up to date. There might be further numbers somewhere else, you know, somewhere hidden. This is just what I've been looking at recently. And I think it says a lot about, you know, where we are in a society that, you know, I guess it just says a lot about exponential growth and stuff like that. Yeah, we're kind of not in a good place. This weekend, on Sunday, hopefully, I will be taking a trip down to Alabama where I'll be spending the rest of my quarantine time. And so I won't be streaming this weekend. On Saturday, I think I should have time to finish up the video. That's what I'm hoping for. But you know, the more I work on this video, the more I realize I don't really have as much time as I thought. So we'll see how that goes. I'm pretty sure today's stream is going to be kind of quiet in chat because yesterday got a bit quiet near the end there. So if you guys have any questions, comments, concerns, idea, anything like that, feel free to let me know, and I'll totally address it as soon as I see it in chat. Yeah, #1, Gibbous. So part of this could be because I just wasn't keeping up with the chat and I wasn't able to read it fast enough, all this kind of stuff. But yeah, we do genuinely need to get some work done for this upcoming video, so we'll see where that goes. Right, honestly, I'm really happy for this trip down to Alabama. I've been here, I've been in Boston for 2 weeks self-isolating. I don't have any symptoms so far as I'm aware. Now that doesn't mean I don't have the virus. It could be, you know, asymptomatic for me. But, you know, I think I've self-isolated enough that this trip should be fine. And yeah, it's like at my parents' lake house. It should be a lot of fun, so I'm pretty excited for it. I'll be there for a month or two, however long it takes to, you know, be isolated there. And then we'll go from there. Okay, let me get some water. And then we'll go ahead and start talking about the Easter algorithm, what we need to do today. In particular, we need to finish up one animation and create one more visualization, and then we'll be done with the Easter algorithm, with the exception of putting the pull request up for the algorithm archive, which I wanted to do today, but might not be done until tomorrow, which kind of sucks. But we'll see how that goes. As long as the PR is up by tomorrow, I can get the video out Saturday evening, is what I'm thinking. So let me get some more water. Okay, I guess one final thing before continuing. Yeah, I don't know. There was this live stream that just happened very recently, with Grant from 3 Blue and Brown and Acapella Science and all this kind of stuff. It's interesting. I'm interested to see where and how people in the scientific community, specifically scientific communication community, you know, like educational YouTubers and people like this, how they're dealing with the whole COVID situation. It's interesting just hearing people talk and chat and all that kind of stuff. I don't know. It's just really making me think about, you know, where I'm at right now, what my ideal place in life, where I should go in the future, all this kind of stuff. Yeah, it's just a lot of thoughts like that. And I'm sure a lot of people are thinking about this type of stuff as well. So it's just stuff that's on my mind recently. So if I sound a little bit, I don't know. I'm just tired. I'm just constantly tired nowadays, and I can't get any sleep at night because my neighbors are super loud. It's just, I don't know. I feel like had I done something else, you know, tried a different path, I would be in a phenomenally different place right now. And I don't know if that would be for better or worse, you know? Okay, so we're going to go ahead and CD into projects, Simuleos, and we're going to CD into Computus here. Okay? We're going to go over here, CD projects, Simuleos, and Computus again. Now, one thing I'm going to do before continuing is I am actually going to update the animation to be a failed animation from yesterday because I kind of want to just keep that video because I thought it was kind of funny. So let me do that really quick, and then we'll go from there. So first things first, let me go into VI Computus. Sorry, I think it's called Gauss Visualization .cpp. And then we're just going to pop down here to the bottom. What I want to change is I want to make it so, what was it? I think it's the moon theta. Where's the moon theta? It should be in here. There it is. The moon theta is here. And I want to do it so the moon theta is going to be the moon frequency plus this. I'm going to yank, paste that, put this here. There. Oh, I'm sorry, wrong commenting style. And then we'll just say this plus Earth theta is what I want to do. So for anyone who might be maybe hasn't seen this animation before, here's the animation we currently have. I'm going to go ahead and show it to you, and then I'll talk about what we need to do with it from here. There's a few things I need to do. So there's a few different visualizations I need to make with this. Let me also open up another terminal. I'll stick it in the background so you guys can't see it because, again, some stuff just shouldn't. I don't think you guys need to see. So it'll just be hidden under my face. I've been thinking about getting a 2-monitor setup, but I haven't done it yet. So MPV, see temp video.mp4. So here's the current animation. We have the sun, the earth, the moon, and I have a separate copy of it stored back here. This guy goes around here, and then we should have it stop there and there. We draw one line that goes that way and another line that goes this way. So that means we have that we have one line showing the difference between the moons and another line showing the difference between the earths. And that's essentially what I want to show. Now, there's a few other things I want to do with these lines. Like I want to draw an arc, for example. Instead of having the ball here, here, and here, I kind of want it to be that we have just shadows being put there and there, so it's a bit easier to visualize and stuff like that. So, I don't know. Lots of little things that we want to update with this. But I want to show you the animation that, the really crazy animation we made yesterday, because I thought it was kind of fun. So let's go here and we're going to run G++. There. Right. I didn't add a plus. Let's add a plus here. Write that. Go over here, G++. I think I need to do Earth theta of 0. Okay. Try it one more time. And now we're going to run Gauss visualization and run that visualization. I'm just going to keep this in the background. I'll put it on Twitter or something like that. It's just one of those like blooper animations that I kind of like and I probably should keep. Essentially in this one, because I added the wrong theta to the moon, it just started spinning like crazy. So here's the moon just doing its crazy stuff. I thought it was kind of funny. So I thought maybe we should just, we should keep it, put it somewhere. I don't know where. I need to start keeping like all the bloopers and stuff like that. But I haven't been because I just haven't been. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and update this as I see fit. I'm gonna keep this this file somewhere, and I think I'm also going to open up another terminal, turn this into a medium-sized terminal, move this down over here, and right, that should be okay. So I have a terminal behind the terminal, just because I feel like having 2 terminals. I mean, you know how it goes. Sometimes you just need a lot of terminals in your life. Let's go this. I'm just gonna loop it. And we're just going to have it playing up here in the upper left-hand corner. Okay. And we'll just make this a bit bigger here. Oh, no, not that big. Let's try that again. Oh, come on. So my issue is that I use a drawing tablet for my mouse. And, I do like using the drawing tablet as a mouse. It's just sometimes I can't get a very precise click, You'd think using a drawing tablet, you'd be able to get a more precise click. And I do have this mouse that I could use that like allows me to convert the drawing tablet to a mouse, but it sometimes double clicks. And is this supposed to be making that clicking noise? Oh, maybe, yeah. I don't know. Right, so let's go ahead and copy that somewhere. So we're gonna copy, yes. So we're gonna copy temp video.mp4, and we're just gonna put blooper. Blooper.mp4 or something like that. And again, I'll just post it on Twitter a bit later. I'm not really sure what to do with this type of stuff, but we'll see. And again, the chat is super quiet today, so if you guys have anything you want to talk about, just feel free to do so. I think it's going to be a rather chill stream today. Okay, so we have this going. Let's go ahead and modify this animation. First of all, to be correct, by deleting that line, going over there. And now what I need to do is I want to modify it so that the Earth and the Moon are simply outlines instead of being, so the background Earth and the background Moon are outlines. So I'm going to draw them as arcs underneath. And that's what I'm going to do now. So let's go ahead and do that. And again, if I seem a little bit low energy today, I'm really sorry about that, guys. I don't mean to seem low energy. Just lots of things happen today at work. And I just, you spend hours and hours and hours just debugging things. And it, sometimes you just don't get anywhere, you know? Hey, Flask, how are you? I hope you're having a wonderful evening, or whatever time. I hope you're having a great time. Jill sounds good today. No worries. Well, thanks for being here. Yeah, I don't know. It's just today, like, we got this error with Julia that, like, I don't know. It took me 2 or 3 days just to debug this thing. And like, it wasn't until today that I could even make a minimal working example to replicate the error. You know, I literally just spent 3 days, this whole week so far, Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, doing nothing but trying to figure out where this bug is coming from. And I finally found it, and it's not something I can fix. And I just, get frustrated, you know how it goes. I don't know. We'll see. What I'm really hoping for is just to start putting out more content on YouTube, start to revitalize the community, and just kind of, turn this into a thing again. I really miss the days when we had a super active community, and I'm not saying we don't anymore. I'm just saying it used to be more active. We had more people interested, and I didn't capitalize on that because I was in the middle of a PhD, and the thing is I keep making these excuses, Like all the time, I keep making these excuses where I'm like, I can't work on this now because I've got this to do. I can't work on this now because I have this to do. And I'm just tired of making these excuses for things that, I'm genuinely happy to do. You know what I'm saying? Like I really, really, really want to work on the algorithm archive, but because it's work, it's similar to the work that I do for work, It feels like I shouldn't be working on algorithm archive stuff when I could be working on work stuff. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. I'm hoping that makes sense. It just happens a lot. I'm sorry, I know how you feel. Debugging can be brutal sometimes. Yeah, it's just recently, Recently, it's been that way, Okay, my neighbors are super loud. I'm genuinely worried that they can, okay, I'm not speaking particularly loud. Again, I've got a, what are these called? Sound monitors? What are they called? Like the things that allow for you to tell how loud people are being and stuff like that. My neighbors are loud literally all the time, and they're like stomping on the ceiling, decibel meter. That's what it's called. I'm not particularly loud. Like I'm speaking at a normal volume for this stream. In fact, I'm speaking kind of quietly since I've come to Boston. And I know you guys can't hear them. But the thing is, every time that they're stomping on the floor or my ceiling, and my entire apartment shakes, and it's just they keep doing this thing, and the thing is I finally got my downstairs neighbors to stop being very loud, because every time they would play music, again, my entire apartment would shake. I don't know, I just don't like this place. Like it'd be fine, but I just don't understand how they've lived this long being so like bad at dealing with people. You know what I'm saying? That is such a mood. The whole, if I can do my code, I should probably do someone else's concept. It's such a problem when it comes to doing my own project. Right, yeah. I lived under someone like that too. Feet made of lead. Yeah, it's so loud. Like if I do a decibel meter on them, like it is literally illegally loud, because I've checked how loud it's supposed to be. And the basically if it's over 60 decibels at any time, right? It's not legal. If it's over 45 decibels or the ambient noise from the surrounding like outside, then it's illegal from the times of I think it's 10 p.m. to I think it's 6 a.m. or something like that. So like I know what's allowed, and I can tell you that they are illegally loud. I know that. And I'm trying to be a good neighbor, and just because honestly they're only loud like on Monday nights or something like that. But like it's not okay. And I just don't understand how people live in environments like this at all. I can't figure it out. Which is why I'm going back to Alabama, where at least I'll get some peace and quiet for a few months. Hopefully I'll be there until June, maybe even July if I'm lucky. And then if I'm there until July, then I just have August, September, October, November, and then in December I'll move. So 4 months here, and I can deal with it for that long, You're probably within your rights to bypass the landlord and make noise complaint to the police or something. Right. So the landlord was super helpful when I talked to them about my downstairs neighbor. Now I just have to talk to them about my upstairs neighbor as well. But since I'm leaving on Sunday, I kind of feel like, look, I'm just going to let them be noisy for now, because I've kind of been dealing with it for now. And then when I come back, if they're still noisy, then I'll talk to my landlord about it again. That's kind of where I'm at. Unfortunately, I'm going to have to pay for this apartment for months, even though I'm not living here, but it's okay. I'll figure it out. Hopefully the bugs don't come back. Sorry about rambling. I ramble a lot when I'm in this mood. As far as the mood's concerned, the main thing is, don't get me wrong, my job is amazing. The people I work with are amazing. Everything about, working at MIT with people who are very intelligent, it's great. I love the research that we're doing. The issue is just that, I don't know, you always think of opportunity cost and stuff like that. So you'll be working from Alabama on the Caltech simulator project? Right. So we'll be working from Alabama remotely on the Caltech simulator project for MIT. Yes, that's what's happening. Why is the moon orbiting so fast? This is just a blooper simulation while I'm working on some other things. It's not supposed to orbit that fast. I just accidentally added the wrong offset to the moon's orbital velocity or whatever. But right, yeah. Again, it's going to be a quiet day, and you guys know how it is. I tend to rant and ramble a bit too much on this stream. But yeah, I do genuinely, like 100% want to see if I could turn this whole project into a career, because I think I can. We've got the algorithm archive. We've got YouTube. YouTube's doing great. I have 64,000 subscribers on YouTube, and that's wonderful, and that's 64,000 subscribers without putting a single video out in the past year. If I capitalize on that, we have enough forward momentum that I can turn this into something. I know I can. I'm at the same spot that Grant was in when he made 3 Blue and Brown a thing. So that's where we're at. Easter algorithm, right, so we're talking specifically about Gauss's Easter algorithm. It's basically a bunch of math that's used to determine the date of Easter. If you haven't been here before, the date of Easter is a deceptively complicated date to calculate because it is the first Sunday after the first full moon of spring, right? So first you have to find spring, then you have to find the first full moon after spring. You have to relate that to the solar calendar because the full moon is on a lunar calendar, and then you have to find the first Sunday after that. It's surprisingly complicated. So what we're doing right now is we're visualizing the movement of the moon around the Earth and the Earth around the sun to show that there is a slight discrepancy between the lunar orbit and the solar orbit. That is to say, 365 days a year is not at all related to the 29.5 days it takes for the moon to go through its lunar phases, right? So that alone makes it a very complicated topic, right? Because you've got the lunar calendar, and then you've got that you have to map onto the solar calendar. It's just complicated, right? I'm not going to talk too much about the algorithm today. Today's just the visualization, but the visualization is turning out pretty well, and I'm pretty happy with it. Did you know Alabama is spelled the same forward and backwards? I didn't know that, but actually now looking at the word, you're right. It's Alabama, and then Alabama. Yeah, it's the same. That's crazy. Just listen to the news and they're telling me it's Easter and I go by X. Fair enough. It is a complicated thing. Okay, so what I'm going to do next is I'm going to think about what I'm doing with my life a bit more, because clearly that's worked out for the past 25 years of my life. How old am I? 27, I think. I don't know. I always just ask my girlfriend how old she is and then I subtract a few months. That's honestly how I figure out my age. Norb88, thank you so much for following. Really appreciate it. Okay. So let's see, what do we have here? No, but I'm doing pretty well. I mean, I've got a PhD, 27 years into my life, working at MIT. The way I see it, if I'm going to take a risk, this is the time to take a risk. Wait, that wasn't supposed to work? What do I do now? So when people troll on my channel, which a lot of people do, my humor is very trolly. I like trolly humor. But what I tend to do is I tend to just like go with the trolls. They'll do something to try to rile you up. And I feel like it's just fun to not be riled up. I don't know. It's just, you feel like you're in control of the situation, No syntax highlighting, right? I just don't believe in color. I don't think it's an actual thing. I think people are trying to make me believe in color when it doesn't actually exist. Oh boy, that would have been a great April Fool's Day joke. Oh, I could have done something with that one. But no, I just don't believe colors exist. Or should exist in your text editor. That's my personal opinion. If you need color to understand your code, I feel like your code isn't formatted correctly. I don't know. You were from MIT? Weren't you in Japan a while back? Yeah, I was. So I was in Japan for the past 5 years. I was getting my PhD. Now I have my PhD and I'm doing my first postdoc. This is kind of why I'm thinking so much about my future and where I want to go, and all of this kind of stuff, because I'm at that stage in my life where I'm trying to figure out what the best long-term position for me will be, and I'm convinced. I'm absolutely 100% convinced that if I can turn the algorithm archive into a full-time gig, that's what I should do. Okay. So I have all these shared pointer ellipses. I think what I actually want to do, I think I want to actually update this a bit again. So here we have a vector of Earths and moons. However, I think what I should be doing instead is I should have a vector of Earth and moon positions. So we should have 3 Earths and 3 moons, and I should not be updating, let's see, Earth's eye. Can we do, let's see, shared pointer, Earth 3, add animator. Okay, I know how I want to do this. So I'm going to refactor the code a bit. So we're going to have Earth radius, and then Earth offset, moon offset, and then Earth location here. So I'm going to change this to a vector. So it's going to be a vector. Oh, it's going to be a vector of vectors. Let's go. So it's going to be vec Earth location. And we're going to say, how many, we want 3. And then moon locations, again, we're going to want 3. And we're just going to set them to be the following, just for now. Just 0. Ooh, that ain't going to work. Vec of 0, 0. Vec of 0, 0. And then we need to close that up. Here we're going to do vec of 0, 0, and another vec of 0, 0. Okay. So what I'm going to do is, since I have an array now, I guess not a vector, of Earth locations and moon locations, instead of updating the actual position, what I'm going to do is I'm going to update, let's see, what do we have here? Moon size, add animator. Where's our for loop in here? So we have for I less than 3. We're going to make shared ellipse, add animator, vector animator, or size. Earths of I is going to be make shared ellipse, Earth color, then we're going to add an animator. Oh, that's the creation of the 3 objects. Okay. And so down here, what we're going to do is we're going to update the new location. Is going to be the sun location here. And then we're going to say Earth location. Ooh, what do we want here? Earth location of J is going to be new location. And then we're going to do moon location of J is going to be this. So this means we're just, so basically we're going to have 3 Earths and 3 moons. We're going to have one set of Earth and moons stay in place, another set of Earths and moons move all around, and another set of Earth and moons stop after 12 lunar months. That's what we're trying to do. Let me go ahead and catch up with chat, and I'll think about it a bit more. Is there a language called Colorforth, where the color of the words are syntactic? Maybe. It's not understanding the code. It's just making sure it's easier to read. How about if you increase the size of the sun in a hypothetical solar system? I mean, right. I mean, these are all just mathematical. We're not even doing a simulation here. When is Easter then? When do big sun people go buy eggs? Easter this year is April 12th. I don't think the size of the sun has any effect. What's the main bottleneck of the algorithm archive? What's the problem you're trying to solve? Right, so with the algorithm archive, the main bottleneck is actually reviewing code. We go here to the algorithm archive. That's the main bottleneck. So there's 2 main bottlenecks, right? Okay, 3 main bottlenecks, right? So we'll say we have a 3 bottleneck system here. Make things XYZ. Thank you so much for resubbing. It's been awesome getting to watch more of your streams during quarantine. Thanks. Can't wait to see where this channel goes. Dude, thank you so much for that. I'm gonna put some Simula cows in the chat. I really appreciate the support. Seriously, I really do. I know it's quarantine. I know a lot of people are struggling. I appreciate any of the support you give the channel. I really, really do. Okay, let's keep going. So here's the GitHub repository. So here are the main bottlenecks, and I guess I'll draw it out for you guys. Why not? Let's open up Zernal TP. We haven't done that yet today, and that's the mainstay of the channel. Let's move over here. Okay, so what? It's not arcane, but it's in the archive, right? The algorithm archive is for all algorithms. We just focus on arcane ones. So here are the 3 bottlenecks. 1, that is gray, and I don't think I want to be gray. I think I want to be yellow today. Today's a yellow day. Okay, so after I just said colors don't exist. It just said colors don't exist. I guess we have to use gray, right? Yeah, we have to use gray. I'll use white. All right, since colors don't exist, we're only using black and white here. Arch user, by the way, thank you so much for following. And Gray Shell, thank you for following. Really appreciate it. Okay, so what am I going to do then? 1, bottlenecks. Me. I'm a big bottleneck. 2, the next bottleneck is going to be review of code. Right? And the third big bottleneck is going to be community. We'll say motivation. Okay, all these things work together. Colors don't exist, mate. Okay, so I misspelled community. Let's try that one again. Community. Okay, so right, all of these kind of build together, right? So if you look at the algorithm archive right now, let me just go over here, and you go to pull requests. We have 54 open pull requests, and I genuinely cannot review most of these guys. I just can't, because I don't know Haskell, I don't know Rust, I don't know Go, I don't know any of these languages. So we need people that know the languages just to look at the code and be like, hey, if you know Rust, if you know Haskell, if you know whatever, can you read this? Does this make sense? You know, that's all we're looking for. We're not looking for you to understand the algorithm. It's my job to make sure the algorithm produces the appropriate results. It's other people's job just to make sure that the code makes sense. That's the whole thing. That's one thing that we're missing. Okay, so this is a big bottleneck right now. It's one of the main reasons why the community hasn't been so interactive, right? I'm another big bottleneck, right? Because I do YouTube. I will do YouTube, Twitch. Ooh, how do you spell Twitch? Twitch. Let's try that one again. Because I do YouTube, Twitch. Yeah, something like that. YouTube. And let's try that. It looks like a VT. Because I do YouTube. Oh, why can't I? Oh my gosh. YouTube. And then I also do algorithm archive development, right? I'm stretched because I also, of course, have my postdoc work with MIT, you know, getting a PhD, all this kind of stuff. I'm just... Twitch. I spelled it right. I got it right at the end there. So I just have a lot of stuff to do, you know? Just a lot of stuff to do. And because of that, I'm a very big bottleneck. Like I said before, if I could turn this into my full-time job, then I could do more YouTube, and I could do more Twitch. I could do more algorithm archive development, which would give us more community motivation, which would help us with review, and then that would help me do more work, right? So this whole thing cycles together. It's just that the cycle doesn't work if any piece is broken. And I broke, right? Which meant that we only had these two parts of the cycle, review and community motivation, and community motivation goes down if you don't have this. Yep. Welcome to Simuleos, the channel where I just scribble on paper and pretend I know what I'm talking about. You do look like an elongated glass, a certain look. I don't know what that means, but thanks, I guess. Com-itty, I don't know what that is either. I can translate JSF to JavaScript if that would be useful. Maybe. These effing arcane langs only C exist. That's fair, right? We should really only support C, but the problem is, guess what we can't support? Frickin' C++. We cannot support that language. It's just hard, because the problem is C++ is a language that has been constantly evolving over the past 2 decades, essentially. More than that, actually. And it means that when you write C++ code, it's very difficult to know what... I don't know. We couldn't figure out how to get C++ into the algorithm archive because I write it in a certain way, but someone else will write it differently. So what is canonically correct C++ code, right? What is... It's hard. I mean, I can go into this discussion later. Twitch for the C is blue. Synesthesia. He can't see color and now he can't write letters. Maybe I'm just having a seizure or whatever. I have those, by the way. I'm sorry, I shouldn't joke about it, but every once in a while it happens. What letters don't exist? C++ has cancer. C++ is a 600-pound gorilla. Dude, I 100% agree with that statement. It is 600-pound gorilla of just words. Okay. So let's go ahead and get this animator done, and we will go from there. Okay. So what do we have here? I think what I want to do... Let me think. How do I want to do this? So what I want to do... I think I'm going to completely restructure how this code is done. So we have the Earth location and the Moon location. That seems fine. So we will have the initial location, and then we have the Earth's location. So I guess what I'm going to do is I'm going to broadcast that initial position, the initial Earth location. I'm going to broadcast it to the other guys here. So let's go ahead and just do that now. So here we're going to say for int I, 1 second, I equals 0, I less than 3. Well, actually, 3. And then we're going to do plus plus I. Move down here. And we're just going to say earth location of I is going to be equal to earth location. Oop, let's try that one again. Of 0. Okay. Yank paste that. And this will be moon location. And this again will be moon location. So this is just it's stupid broadcasting to make it so all the values are the same. Meh. I'm sorry. I could have done. It is what it is. Just don't look. Don't judge me. Okay, let's keep going. So now we have all the locations the same. And we're going to now create the objects that we need. So here we had it so that we were going to make a set of, let's just do 4x here. We had it so we were going to make a set of 3 Earths and 3 moons, but now I think we only want 1 moon and 1 Earth that's moving around. And I think we want 2 shadows that are moving around. So let's go ahead and do that. So we have Earths of I, and we're just going to modify all the Earths and all the moons, so we only have 1 Earth and 1 moon. So let's go ahead and change Earth. In fact, let me just change. Let's just modify everything. So we're going to do this S. Oops, sorry about that. This S, and we're going to do Earths. And I think I have to do this of 0. That is going to change to Earth. Okay, and we're just going to do CG. See what we got here. Was there nothing there? I think there was something there. Yes. What? What do you mean there was nothing there? Let me search for Earths. Oh. Let me search for... What on earth am I doing? Earths. Yep. Earths of this. Pattern not found. Earths of this. Pattern not found. Ah, interesting. Why not? Okay, well. I guess. Why is the pattern not found? Whatever, I don't care. Let's do it. Okay, I'll just modify this on my own. 4x. Yep. Okay, and now we need to change the Earth locations down here. So these have a, I guess it doesn't really matter now, but this is going to be on location 0. And then moon location should be here. Okay. Oh, crap. What am I doing? G. Oh, no. Oh, no. Okay, let's keep going. Crap. There, that's what I'm looking for. I'm really just screwing this up, aren't I? Westby123, Image, SH, and Oldhead. Thank you guys so much for following. Really appreciate it. Let's see. I can help with C. Maybe find some C++ coding standards. Pick that one's reasonable rather than focusing on canonical correctness. Right. So if we could talk about that for just a second. So the issue with C++ in particular is that, did I say thanks for following West? Yes, operator? I might have. Anyway, thanks for following. Really appreciate it. Right. So the problem with C++ is that there's C++ 17, which is essentially functional programming, right? Which is a fundamentally different paradigm, right? Than what people would typically use C++ 11 for, I would say. No, C++ 11 did have the functionalism in it, but it wasn't yet at the stage where everyone wanted to write functional programming in C. So the issue there is that when people write C++ code, we can rely on a standard or a style, like the straw stop style or whatever, and that'll be fine. But how do you tell people that what we might need to do is split C++ into two versions. One's functional and one's just imperative, right? Maybe something like this. I'm not really sure. This is where I just didn't know how to answer because my knowledge of C++ is fine. I use C++ all the time. I used it primarily as my number one programming language for years. But that doesn't mean I understand like the nuances of the Clang compiler and stuff like this. There's a lot of things I don't know. Nor do I care to know, you know? And so it puts me in a very weird position where I can no longer review C++ 17 code, for example. I just can't. I don't know what the good programming practices are for C++ 17. I can tell you for C, And I can tell you for C++ 11, but C++ 17 is another beast that I can't talk about. So, right, it's just, I don't know. I don't know the solution to that. We did kind of standardize on some style, but then everyone hated that, you know? Because if you get, I would argue, if you get 3 C++ programmers in a room, you will have 4 opinions on the appropriate way to write C++ code. That's what I argue. And I think, looking at our discussions that we had, that is about accurate. Are we fat shaming C++ now? All right, that's enough crap talking from me. Your content is pretty fun, mate. Good luck. What on earth am I doing? Is the correct term. Yeah. Okay, so we're gonna define all these guys there. Okay, so now we have Earth theta, Moon theta, and we have 2 of those. We're updating all the thetas. Seems fine. We have new locations. Right. So the next thing I need to do is make it so that we update. We have new location, Earths of J. So now there's no such thing as an Earths of J. So this is just going to be Earth. This is just going to be Moon. There. And my guess is that we can get this to compile, but it will just have 1 Earth and 1 Moon. And that's what I'm going to shoot for. Just 1 Earth and 1 Moon. And then we'll add the other guys in the background afterwards. I screwed up a bit with syntaxing. Yep, that's a verb. So let me fix that up where I can. I think I just need to do like a 4x there. Ooh, maybe. Yeah. Something like this, maybe. Yep. Sorry, just trying to get everything to be realigned. Okay, so let's go down here and make sure that we're only adding 1 object when we're adding the object down here. So just Earth and Moon. I think this should compile maybe. Let's give it a go, see what happens. G++, ha! How naive was I to think that writing code was easy. It is not, just for the record. Okay, so let's see, what do we have here? Moon art and animator. Let's just go through the error messages one by one and figure out what I'm doing wrong. Looks like no operator plus. No operator plus. What? Okay, let's go. That's not the right line. 37? Right. So Earth location plus Moon offset. So it should be vec Moon 3. So it should be an array of vecs. Moon offset should be a vec. Earth location should be a vec. Aha! I see the problem. This is going to be of 0. We'll see. Okay. Earth was not declared in the scope. That's probably because I just didn't define what Earth was. Look for where Earth is defined. Yep, I defined it as Earths and Moons. Okay. Let's just recompile. Let's clear a couple times. Okay, look, I know what you're saying. I know exactly what you're saying. You're saying that this guy should be using an IDE, and you're right. But I don't like IDEs. I kind of like this, because it gives you all the error messages at once. It's kind of nice. I like it. Earth is not declared in the scope. I must have just left an Earth somewhere. Earth's, yep, right here. And right there. Let me just make sure I didn't miss any others. Doesn't look like I did, but I probably missed a moon somewhere. Yep. And next. Oh no. Oh crap. I screwed up. Okay. Clear a couple times. Run it again. Let's go. Oh boy. Welcome to Simuleos. We just look at backtraces all day. It's kind of nice actually when you think about it. Let's see. Earth location. So what was I doing? It should be that the new location, it's just line 97. Let's just go to line 97. Screw it. It's going to be Earth location of 0. Right, yeah, sounds fine. Yep. Let's see, what's the next one? Earth of 1, world add object. Right, so I think I just screwed up and forgot a comma. As I did. Let's just clear. Run it again. Nice. There was a day a long time ago. Maybe a year ago or something like that. Okay, maybe 2 years ago, something like that. I was doing a stream and I just decided that I would do 10 push-ups for every compilation error I did. Every compilation error I found. I ended up having to do like 200 push-ups on stream. It was ridiculous. Oh, I kind of want to do it again. I miss that. Like, it was fun. Like, where is this error even coming from? Return type. Crap. Vec animator, int start. required from here, 94. Earth location, new location. Aha. Right, so because all of the Earth locations... Probably that one. And that one, we'll guess. Let's give it a go. Okay. Clear a couple times. Give it another go. Okay, let's see what we have here. Again, an undecipherable comment, but we'll figure it out. You know, why not? We'll figure it out one day. It might not be today, but we'll figure it out. C++ allocator. This is one thing that... So, okay, I've been using Julia a lot recently, right? And I like Julia. It's a wonderful language. So let's just look for moon locations. It's there. Moon location 0, moon location 0, moon location I, moon location 3. Seems fine. Yep. Earth location. Yep. Earth location there. Earth location there. 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 Yep. All seems fine. Yep. Should be fine. Okay. Oh, Earth location here is not fine. Okay. G++. Okay, so that compiled. Let's just give it a go, see what it does. Why not? Yeah, this is a fun programming stream. Gauss visualization, let it go. And again, guys, if you have any questions, comments, concerns, you just want to talk about life, liberty, the pursuit of open source software, feel free to do so in the chat. I'll totally address it as soon as I see it. So this runs, we should have one Earth, one moon, and it should just be going around. Beautiful, look at that. If that's not an animation, I don't know what is. It's great, should stop here. Perfect. Nice. Okay, so let's just move this up to the corner, and now let's add the other Earth and the other moon behind it. Hey, Fulster, how are you? By the way, the other day, I saw on Twitter that you were just going to do complete social isolation for a few days. How did that go? Like, I'm interested. I'm also interested. Are you still making content on YouTube and stuff like that? Yeah. I'm interested. I should be keeping up, and I'm not, you know? It's pretty good. Yeah, so why is my question. Why did you do that? What brought you to a point in life when you were already socially isolated, and then you decided, hey, I'm not isolated enough. Let me isolate even more. Oh, it got a lot of my thesis done in that time? Okay, that's fair enough. Right. It's just, everyone else was like, oh, I'm just minorly socially isolated. And you were like, you know what? Screw people. I'm done. I'm out. No more of this, you know? Okay, I can remove this to-do statement because we don't need it anymore. And let's just go ahead and add some arcs and just mess around. A very weird view of the world. I feel like everyone has a weird view of the world. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to, let's see, we have an Earth arc. I'm going to create two additional. Let me output the values that we have right now, because I'm not sure what we have. I joined at the end of your ideas on supporting C++, I think. Could you back up and give me a quick overview of your review process or a link for supported links? So all languages are supported. And we should have, let me go here. We should have code style guide. And we have this for general rules for Golang, JavaScript, PHP, Python, Nim, and stuff like that. If you want to. So did we talk about C? We didn't talk about C++ here. So here's a code style guide. We had settled on the Strostup style before for C++. So I think it's spelled Strup C++. Right? But some languages we just don't really have a clear style guide for yet. So if you want to go about discussing what we should have for that style guide, more than happy to hold that discussion, right? Just know that we want people who can, essentially what we need are people who can read this language and just to be able to look at some code that was written in that language and say, hey, does this make sense in that language? Like, for example, Haskell is dramatically different than Julia, right? If you write Julia code, more than likely, if that Julia code is just straight up ported to Haskell, it's going to look weird in Haskell, right? So you want to do something, you just want to make sure that that code looks good. You know, it looks readable. It is something people can understand. So the C++ was only about style. All languages are supported. Okay. The C++ discussion was half about style, and then it bled into another discussion about the type of coding. Like, should it be functional? Should it be imperative? Should it be? And that was what we couldn't settle on. You know, that was where we were set. I saw a lot of people maxing out their social interactions because they felt trapped in quarantine. And trying to always max out a resource that is only going to deplete over time is very bad for mental health. Yeah, I agree with that. Google also has a great C++ style guide. Pick your poison. Yeah, I mean, I've got a very standard way that I write C++ code. I'm not going to pretend that this is the best way to write C++ code. It's just how I write C++ code, you know? And we don't have to, I'm not going to sit here and pretend that that's what we should use for the algorithm archive. I'm not going to pretend I have some amazing coding abilities that other people don't have. But I will say that if people are writing C++ code, as someone who has been using C++ for over half a decade, I would say probably a full decade of C++ being my primary language for programming, if I'm unable to read your code that you've written in C++, probably there's something wrong with the way you've written the code. You know, that's what I would argue, right? I've been writing C++ code since I was 14. You know, that was the first language I learned, and it's what I stuck with for a long time, you know? So I don't know. It's just how I feel, you know? Hey, T.S. Joss. Is your favorite word hype? Is that just what you say? It's a lot harder to learn how to deal with living in max quarantine before max quarantine than during. Yeah, I agree with that. Let me get some water. Okay, and I'm just going to go ahead and create some shadows. No, I wasn't making fun of you, T.S. Joss. I wasn't making fun of you. Please don't leave. Okay, I'm going to create 2 more versions of Earth and Moon, and they're going to be Earth. Where is Vim cubed? I was going to use it, but I've got too much work to do. For those who don't know, I think I can just do Vim cubed here. There is a new text editor on the block called Vim cubed. Here it is. It's just Vim in a cube. I was thinking about using it for today's stream, but I just decided against it because I didn't have enough. I've got too much to do, you know? On the block. So I was testing how I would react to it while I still had the resources to deal with it. Right, you know, that's fair enough. I think it's a good idea. Let me close that. Okay, let's keep going. So we have these guys defined. We should have a set of locations now. Yep, we should have a set of locations. So I'm just going to go ahead and add the arcs down here. Okay, so we're going to do Vec Earth. Let's do Earth Shadows. We'll call it. And this will be a size 2. And we'll also do Vec of Moon Shadows. Man, sounds like super edgy stuff. It should be a Vec. Oh, it's not a Vec, is it? It's going to be an STD make shared arc. So it can be STD make shared arc, I believe. Yep. And then we're going to go down here. And what we'll do is we'll just initialize them at the appropriate location. And then we'll just run the simulation. Yeah, we'll see how it goes. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to add the Earth and Moon to layer 2. So basically we have 3 layers, a bottom layer, a middle layer, and top layer. The top layer is where we're drawing the Earth. Geek Panther, that looks... Yeah, it should be a shared pointer. Thanks, T.S. Joss. Thanks for that. I don't know what you're saying that looks cute, but I will take that as a compliment. Shared pointer. 1 second. Yeah. Okay, I don't know. Sometimes I just have to, sometimes I have to just take off my headphones and listen because sometimes, I don't know, it's just, my neighbors are super loud and I just need to know if it's my neighbors playing music or my neighbors. Oh God, that sucks so much. Yeah, I think that's definitely my neighbors playing music. Oh man, that, dagnabbit. Every time I hear my neighbors play music, I just know. The problem is, I have a bit of misophonia, so when I hear music playing, I just get unnecessarily angry. And I know I shouldn't, but I do. So anyway, we have our Earth shadows and our Moon shadows. Right, so let's go from there. Um, yeah, okay, so noise canceling headphones do not work. Trust me, they don't. Because the noise canceling headphones do not cancel bass, which is the only thing I need them to cancel, right? Yeah, so it's the only thing that I've gotten to work. So obviously I have earplugs that I wear. If you put your own music on it, they do. Right. So the problem was twofold, right? So I got noise canceling headphones, and I tried them for a bit, and they didn't work for me because I could still hear my neighbor's music over top of them, no matter how much noise they canceled. So the only thing I found that works is, earplugs, which I have a large number of earplugs, which are noise reduction rating 33, which is as loud as you can possibly go. And then I also have a white noise machine that I sometimes just have to play as loud as it can possibly go. They do lower frequencies, just not nearly as much as low sounds. One of my neighbors has made a habit of sitting in his car right outside of my apartment blasting music. Yeah, that happens too. I don't understand people who play music. Like, okay, I understand people who play music. I don't understand people who play music on speakers in an apartment. Like, what is going through your head? Like, how do you think that's okay? Like, do you just think that do you not care about anyone around you? Is that where you're at? You're so just depressed and miserable with your life that you want to make everyone else depressed and miserable too? I don't know. It doesn't make sense to me. They're obviously much better at low frequencies, but they reduce higher frequencies too. And the passive isolation exists too, of course. Right, so I have two problems. One, I can't do noise. I can't do over-ear headphones. I just can't. Because quite frankly, I cannot listen to music with both. Like, you notice now, I only have one headphone in, right? I can't do both headphones. If I do both headphones, I just get really paranoid, and I physically can't. Like, I just can't. Like, I get really frustrated, and I'm unable to think properly, right? So I end up just getting really screwed up, Gosh, okay. I might have to end stream early, guys, and just put in earplugs, and because I can't think right now because of the music. I'm gonna try to just power through it, but we'll see what we can do. No, they just don't care about other people. Okay, so let's just DD here, DD there. Okay, this happens early too. I'm sorry. Can you ask them to turn down the music? Right, I did. Okay, I've done a number of things. So first of all, I sent them. I asked them to turn down the music, right, physically, but they don't speak very much English. So then I wrote a note on their door. I said, hey, your music is very loud. It's literally shaking my apartment. Would you please consider turning it down, right? So they apparently didn't even read the note. So then I went to my landlord. I was like, look, honestly, I just need them to shut up. Like, I can't, Yeah, it sucks. No, I can't wear earplugs and stream at the same time. It's too complicated for me to do. Yeah, guys, I'm gonna have to leave. I'm sorry about that. Yep, I'm sorry. I gotta go. I'll hopefully be back tomorrow. We'll see how this goes. I just can't deal with this at this point in time. Let me just see who's live and who I can raid at the end of stream. Let's do Tim, actually. I feel like we should do Tim. Yeah, I'm sorry about that. I'm just gonna have to, I can't. I'm really sorry. All right, I will, I'm gonna go. I will talk to you guys. I'll see you guys later. Gosh, I just can't even. Gosh darn it. Okay. Right. I will see you guys later. I'm gonna go ahead and start the raid on Tim. And I will see you guys next time. All right, bye guys.